Hey folks, welcome back to Powerful Stoic Talks. Have you ever wanted someone to think about you non-stop, as if you were the only thing on their mind? Like your very presence was something they craved, something they couldn't resist chasing after? Imagine, for a moment, you found that treasure to flip the script. Now they're the ones in your place. You're no longer chasing them, no longer begging for their attention. Instead, they're the ones chasing you, realizing your worth, and feeling the sting of regret for not seeing it sooner. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, that's the power of detachment, and today we're going to show you exactly how to use that power to flip the script and make them chase you. Now, Stoic friends, let's get real. What happens when you start chasing someone's attention and they don't give a damn? You're always there, trying your best, putting in the effort, showing up for them time and time again. But instead of them appreciating your efforts, you start feeling like you're losing yourself in the chase, desperately seeking validation, attention, or love from someone who's just not reciprocating. It's frustrating, right? The more you try to hold on, the more they seem to pull away, leaving you feeling powerless and consumed by doubt. But here's the secret. The power isn't in chasing. It's in stepping back. Detachment isn't about giving up. It's about flipping the script. When you detach, you take back control, and that's when they start noticing what they're missing. Suddenly, the dynamic shifts. They begin to wonder why you've pulled away, and that curiosity turns into pursuit. They start to chase you, realizing that your absence is more powerful than your presence ever was. As Tony Gaskins wisely said, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow, what you stop, and what you reinforce. When you detach, you give them the space to crave what they once took for granted. Today, we're diving deep into why detaching from them is the key to getting them back, not by force, but by making them realize they can't afford to lose you. But before we dive into the strategies and wisdom that will guide you on this journey, I've got a challenge for you. If you're ready to take back your power and make them chase you, drop a comment below with the phrase, "You will admire me." This isn't just a statement. It's your declaration of independence, of self-worth, and of the irresistible magnetism that lies within you. Let's see how many of you are ready to embrace this shift and turn the tables in your favor. Ready, Stoic friends? Let's see how to practice detachment. Go now. Before we jump into how detachment is going to flip the script and have them chasing you, let's talk about how to practice detachment the right way. Whether you're trying to reignite a flame that's flickering, attract someone new, make your ex realize what they've lost, or even rekindle the spark when you're living together, but you've noticed the flame isn't as bright as it used to be, mastering detachment is your secret weapon, but only if you do it right. First off, let's get something straight. Detachment doesn't mean turning cold or disappearing completely. It's not about playing hard to get or pretending you don't care. Detachment is about showing that you're perfectly fine on your own, that you're a force to be reckoned with or without them. You're not pulling back to punish them. You're stepping back to show them your value. And let me tell you, this is where things get interesting. So here's what you need to do. Stop being the one who's always available. Seriously, if you're always the one texting first, calling, or trying to hang out, you're doing too much. Detachment means giving them the space to realize how much they enjoy your company when they don't have it on demand. Think of it like this. If you're always in their face, they don't have the chance to miss you. So step back a bit and let them come to you. When they do, don't be distant or cold. Just be calm, confident, and in control. You're not chasing them. You're letting them chase you. Now here's the fun part. Detachment works in every situation. Let's say you're in a situation where you want to attract someone new. Maybe there's someone you've had your eye on, and you're hoping to catch their attention. The natural instinct might be to make yourself super available, always be around, and show them how interested you are. But here's the twist. That's not the best way to go about it. Instead, you need to step back a bit. When you're always available, you can come across as too eager, and that can actually push them away. What you need to do is create a little mystery. Show them that you have your own life, your own passions, and that you're not just waiting around for their attention. Spend more time doing the things you love, focus on your goals, and let them see that you're a high-value person with or without them. When you're not constantly in their space, they'll start to wonder about you, and that curiosity will draw them in. Suddenly, you're not just another option. You're the one who stands out. Detachment isn't about playing games. It's about being genuinely confident in who you are and what you bring to the table. When you stop chasing and start living your life to the fullest, you become magnetic. They'll notice the shift, and that's when they'll start to see you differently, not as someone who's just there, but as someone they want to pursue. Now let's take another situation. What if you're already in a relationship and living together, but you've noticed the flame isn't as bright as it used to be? Maybe things have become a little too comfortable, and the excitement has faded. Detachment can work here too. It's not about creating distance in your home, but about rekindling your own spark. Start investing more time in yourself, your hobbies, your passions, your self-care. Let them see the independent, strong person they fell in love with in the first place. When you show that you're still growing, still exciting, still living your life, it reignites their interest. They remember why they were drawn to you in the first place, and the flame starts to burn brighter again. And what about when you want to make an ex realize what they've lost? Detachment is your secret weapon here as well. Instead of reaching out, begging for another chance, or trying to show them how much you've changed, step back. Focus on you. Show them that you're thriving without them, that your world didn't crumble when they left. That's when they'll start to feel the loss, realizing they might have made a mistake. The tables turn, and suddenly, they're the ones thinking about what they gave up. But here's the catch. Detachment isn't a quick fix. It's a mindset. You've got to commit to it and stay strong. While you're detaching, focus on you. Dive into your passions, your goals, the things that make you feel alive. Let them see that you're not just surviving, you're thriving. And trust me, when they see that, they'll start to feel the gap you've left behind sooner than you think. So, whether you're trying to attract someone new, make your ex regret their choices, or bring back the fire in a relationship where you're living together, detachment is your key. Stay focused, stay strong, and watch how they start to crave what they once took for granted. Now that you've got your weapon of detachment ready, let's dive into the journey they'll go through. The journey that will lead them to the point where they start chasing you and admiring you. Trust me, this is where things get really interesting and empowering, so make sure you stick with me, because what's about to unfold is going to give you all the insight you need to understand exactly what's going to happen in their mind, in their heart, and in their actions as they move from taking you for granted to realizing they can't afford to lose you. Number 1, step back. They notice the shift. You step back, so folks, this is where it all begins, where you start to take control of the situation by making a subtle but impactful move. You're no longer fighting for their attention, and trust me, this is where the magic starts to happen. Now, what might you be thinking? If I step back, won't they just forget about me? Won't I lose whatever connection we have left? That's a fair concern. But here's the thing. By stepping back, you're not vanishing from their life. You're creating a shift in the dynamics. You're showing them that you're not desperate, that your world doesn't revolve around their every move. And this, my friends, is where you start to reclaim your power. Imagine this. You've been the one who's always there, the one who texts first, the one who makes the plans, the one who constantly shows up. But what happens when you stop? When you don't reach out first? When you let them wonder where you've gone? It's like when the background music suddenly stops playing. There's an immediate awareness that something's missing. That's exactly what happens when you step back. They notice the silence, the gap, the absence of your attention. And here's the kicker. They start to wonder why. Stepping back is about creating space for them to miss you, to realize your value, to start thinking about you in a way they haven't before. It's not about playing games or being manipulative. It's about respecting yourself enough to stop chasing after someone who isn't giving you the attention you deserve. As the old saying goes, distance makes the heart grow fonder. By pulling back, you're giving them the opportunity to feel that distance, to miss your presence, and to recognize the gap you've left in their life. Now, stepping back doesn't mean you go completely cold or disappear into the ether. It's about subtle changes, being a little less available, taking longer to respond, focusing more on yourself and your own life. It's about shifting the focus from them to you. And here's the beauty of it. When you stop fighting for their attention, they'll start to realize just how much they took it for granted. And let's be honest, isn't it exhausting always being the one who cares more? The one who's always reaching out, always trying to keep things alive? When you step back, you're not just giving them space, you're giving yourself space to breathe, to focus on your own goals, to reconnect with what makes you happy. And in doing so, you're not only reclaiming your power, but you're also becoming more attractive, more intriguing, more desirable. Think about it like this. Have you ever noticed that the things we chase after seem to run away from us, while the things we let go often come back? It's the same with people. When you stop chasing, they start to notice. They start to think about you more. They start to wonder why you're not as available as you used to be, and that's when the tables start to turn. The Stoics believed in the power of self-control and discipline. They taught that we should focus on what we can control, ourselves, and let go of what we cannot, other people's actions. By stepping back, you're embodying this philosophy. You're taking control of your own actions, your own emotions, and you're letting go of the need to control the outcome. That, in itself, is incredibly powerful. So, if you're ready to embrace this shift, to stop fighting for their attention, and start focusing on yourself, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I'm stepping back." This isn't just a statement, it's a commitment to yourself, to your worth, and to the journey you're about to embark on. It's about reclaiming your power, taking control of your life, and letting them notice the shift. And remember, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By stepping back, you're choosing how you react to their indifference. You're choosing to prioritize yourself, and that, my friends, is where true power lies. So let's take that first step together. Step back, reclaim your power, and watch as they start to notice and miss what they once took for granted. Because you deserve more than to fight for someone's attention. You deserve to be admired, respected, and valued, and that starts with you. So, friends, before we move to the next step, if you have any questions, thoughts, or maybe a different perspective, Or if you want to share a personal experience, please go ahead and drop it in the comments. And if you're just soaking it all in and everything's resonating with you, then do me a favor. Hit that like button. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep this conversation going and continue growing together. The void number 2. They feel the void. You fill it with yourself. So folks, this is where the real impact of your decision to step back begins to take hold. After they've noticed that something's different, the absence of your constant presence starts to create a void in their life. And let me tell you, this is where things get interesting. When you were always available, always the one reaching out, they might not have fully appreciated what you brought into their life. It's like having a favorite song playing in the background all the time. You enjoy it, but you might not really notice it until it's gone. Now that you've stepped back, they start to feel that silence. It's not just about missing the texts or the calls. It's about the energy you brought into their life, the comfort of knowing you were always there. That's the void we're talking about, and trust me, they're feeling it. Imagine this. They're going about their day, and suddenly, they realize they haven't heard from you in a while. At first, they might brush it off, but as the hours turn into days, that absence starts to weigh on them. They begin to wonder why you've pulled back, and that curiosity quickly turns into something more, an awareness that something important is missing. That's the void you've created by stepping back, and it's a powerful thing. But here's the best part. While they're busy feeling that void, you're filling it with yourself. You're not sitting around waiting for them to notice. You're using this time to focus on your own growth, your own happiness, and your own goals. You're diving into the things that make you feel alive, whether it's pursuing a passion, spending time with friends, or simply taking better care of yourself. You're turning that void into an opportunity to become the best version of yourself. This is where the tables start to turn. While they're feeling the emptiness of your absence, you're becoming more fulfilled, more content, and more confident. And here's the beauty of it. The more you focus on yourself, the more attractive you become. There's something incredibly magnetic about someone who is genuinely happy, independent, and self-assured. It's like you've created this aura of positivity and strength around you, and they can't help but be drawn to it. Now you might be thinking, what if they don't notice? What if they don't care? Here's the thing. If they don't notice the void you've left, or if they don't care, then you've just gained something even more valuable. Clarity. You've learned that this person wasn't truly invested in you, and that's information you can use to move on with your life, knowing you deserve better. But more often than not, they will notice. They will care because you were never just filling space in their life. You were adding something meaningful, something they'll start to miss as time goes on. And let's not forget the Stoic wisdom here. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control, your own actions, your own emotions, and letting go of the things you can't control, like how others respond to you. By filling that void with yourself, you're practicing this philosophy. You're taking control of your life and your happiness, and you're letting go of the need to be validated by someone else. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. By focusing on yourself, you're improving the quality of your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately your life. So, if you're ready to fill that void with your own awesomeness, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I'm my own priority." This isn't just a statement. It's a declaration that you're choosing to put yourself first, to focus on your own growth, and to let them feel the void you've left behind. You're choosing to be the best version of yourself, and that's something no one can take away from you. Remember, folks, it's not about what they're feeling. It's about what you're doing with your time and energy. By filling the void with yourself, you're not only reclaiming your power, but you're also setting the stage for them to realize just how much you brought into their life. And that, my friends, is how you start to shift the dynamics in your favor. The comparison trap number 3. They fall into the comparison trap. You keep rising. So folks, this is where things start to get really interesting. By now, they've noticed the shift, and they're feeling the void left by your absence. But here's the kicker. As they start to adjust to life without your constant presence, they begin to compare what they had with you to what they're experiencing now. And trust me, this is where you start to shine even brighter. Imagine this. They're spending time with someone else, maybe trying to move on, or maybe they're just going about their day, interacting with friends or new people. But here's the thing. No one else quite measures up to you. They start to notice the little things that made you unique, the way you listened, the way you supported them, the energy you brought into their life. And as they compare these new interactions to the ones they had with you, something becomes painfully clear. They've lost something special. This comparison trap is powerful because it forces them to face the reality of what they gave up or what they're missing out on. They might have thought the grass was greener on the other side, but now they're realizing that what they had with you was rare, valuable, and irreplaceable. It's like trying to enjoy a meal that's just okay after having tasted something truly exquisite. Everything else just falls short. While they're busy comparing, you're not even aware of it. Or if you are, you're not letting it affect you. Why? Because you're focused on yourself. You're not looking back. You're not second-guessing your decisions. And you're certainly not wasting time wondering what they're up to. Instead, you're rising. You're continuing to grow, to thrive, and to pursue the things that make you happy every day. You're becoming a better, stronger version of yourself, and that's something they can't help but notice, even from a distance. Here's the beauty of it. The more they compare, the more they start to see your value. They realize that you weren't just anyone. You were someone who brought light into their life, and that light is hard to replace. This realization is what makes them start to regret their choices, to question their actions, and to feel that pang of loss even more deeply. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. While they're busy imagining what could have been or what they've lost, you're living in the reality of your own growth and success. You're not dwelling on the past or letting their comparisons drag you down. Instead, you're using this time to keep rising, to build a life that's fulfilling and joyful, regardless of whether they're a part of it or not. So, if you're ready to keep rising above it all, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I'm rising above." This isn't just a statement, it's a declaration that you're choosing to focus on your own growth, your own happiness, and your own journey. Let them fall into the comparison trap. You're too busy rising to worry about it. Remember, folks, the comparison trap is just that, a trap. But for you, it's an opportunity to show them what they've lost while you keep moving forward, stronger and more confident than ever before. And that, my friends, is how you truly win. The seek reassurance number 4. They seek reassurance. You stay grounded. So folks, by now, they've noticed your shift. They felt the void, and it's starting to get to them. The absence of your constant attention is becoming more than just a passing thought. It's starting to create a sense of unease. This is when they begin to seek reassurance, trying to figure out where they stand with you. Imagine this. They've been feeling that emptiness, the lack of your presence, and it's gnawing at them. Maybe they send a casual text or drop a hint on social media, hoping to get a reaction out of you. They're testing the waters, trying to see if you're still as invested as you once were. They might even start reaching out more frequently just to gauge your response. This is their way of seeking reassurance, of trying to confirm that they still matter to you. But here's where it gets interesting. You stay grounded. You don't jump at the first sign of attention, and you certainly don't revert back to your old ways of being overly available. You've already made the decision to step back and focus on yourself, and you're sticking to it. You respond, sure, but you do so on your own terms. You're calm, composed, and most importantly, you're not giving them the validation they're seeking so easily. Here's why this is so powerful. When you stay grounded, you're showing them that you're not dependent on their attention for your happiness. You're not playing games or trying to manipulate the situation. You're simply prioritizing your own well-being, and this, my friends, is incredibly attractive. It shows them that you're confident in who you are, that you know your worth, and that you're not going to be swayed by their attempts to pull you back into the old dynamic. Let's sprinkle in some Stoic wisdom here. The Stoics believed in maintaining composure and staying true to oneself, no matter what external pressures or temptations arise. As Epictetus wisely put it, no man is free who is not master of himself. By staying grounded, you're mastering yourself. You're not letting their attempts to seek reassurance throw you off balance. Instead, you're standing firm in your decision to focus on your own growth and happiness. And guess what happens next? The more grounded you stay, the more they realize that they can't just waltz back into your life without putting in the effort. They start to see that if they want to be part of your world, they need to step up their game. They begin to understand that you're not someone who can be easily swayed, and that makes you even more desirable. So, if you're ready to stay grounded, to keep your focus on yourself while they're seeking reassurance, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I stand strong." This isn't just a statement, it's a commitment to yourself, to your growth, and to the strength that comes from within. It's about showing that you're not just waiting around for their attention. You're standing tall, confident in who you are and where you're going. Remember, folks, staying grounded isn't about being cold or distant. It's about being confident and secure in yourself. It's about knowing your worth and not settling for anything less than what you deserve. And that, my friends, is how you continue to flip the script and keep the power firmly in your hands. Number 5, the grass isn't greener. They realized the grass wasn't greener. You stand tall. So, folks, this is the moment when reality hits them hard. They thought they could find something better, that moving on or pulling away would lead to something more exciting, more fulfilling. But now, as they look around, they start to realize that what they had with you was something truly special, and that so-called greener grass, it's starting to look a lot less appealing. Imagine this. They've distanced themselves, maybe even started seeing someone else, or just drifted away, thinking they didn't need to put in the effort anymore. At first, they might have felt a sense of freedom, of new possibilities. But as time goes on, the novelty wears off, and they begin to see the cracks. The conversations don't flow as easily, the connection isn't as deep, and the sense of comfort and security they had with you is missing. They start comparing, consciously or unconsciously, and that's when it dawns on them. They've lost something valuable. Here's the kicker, though. While they're over there realizing that the grass isn't greener, you're standing tall. You haven't been sitting around waiting for them to figure it out. You've been living your life, focusing on your growth, and becoming even more of the person you want to be. You're not looking back, wondering if they'll return. You're looking forward, confident in your own worth. This isn't about arrogance. It's about self-respect. You know what you brought to the table, and you're not diminishing yourself just because someone else failed to see it. And let's not forget, folks, the Stoics were all about self-reliance and inner strength. They taught that true happiness comes from within, not from external validation or temporary pleasures. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By focusing on your own journey, your own thoughts, and your own actions, you're dyeing your soul with resilience, confidence, and self-worth. And trust me, that's way more attractive than any short-lived fling or superficial connection they thought they could replace you with. So what do you do when they come to this realization, when they start to see that the grass wasn't greener, and they reach out trying to reconnect? You stand tall. You don't rush back into their arms or immediately forgive and forget. You let them show you that they've learned from their mistake, that they understand your value now, and that they're willing to put in the effort to earn back your trust. This is your moment to shine, to show them that while they were busy chasing something new, you were busy becoming someone better. You've grown, you've evolved, and now they're the ones who need to prove themselves to you. And if they're not willing to do that, well, you're more than ready to keep moving forward without them. So if you're ready to stand tall and let them realize what they've lost, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I stand strong." This is your declaration that you know your worth and you're not settling for anything less. You're ready to keep growing, keep shining, and keep standing tall, no matter what. Remember, folks, the grass isn't greener where you chase it. It's greener where you water it. And by focusing on yourself, you've been nurturing your own garden all along. Now it's their turn to see just how vibrant and strong you've become. Number 6, they feel the power shift. They feel the power shift. This is the point in the journey where everything starts to change. Up until now, they may have felt in control, thinking they had the upper hand, that you would always be there, waiting, hoping. But now, the tables have turned, and they're starting to realize it. They begin to notice that you're not chasing them anymore. You're not trying to win them over or prove your worth. Instead, you're living your life, focusing on what makes you happy, and you're doing it all without them. This is when they start to feel the power shift. Suddenly, they're the ones who are unsure, who feel the need to reach out, who start wondering if they've lost you for good. And here's where you come in. You hold the reins. You're in control now, not because you're playing games, but because you've taken control of your own life. You've shown them that you're perfectly fine on your own, that you don't need them to feel complete or happy. This realization is powerful, and it changes the entire dynamic of your relationship. They're now the ones feeling the uncertainty, the doubt, the need to reconnect. And you're calm, confident, and in control. You've flipped the script, and now they're the ones who have to prove themselves to you. So if you're ready to hold the reins and embrace this new power dynamic, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I'm in control." This is your declaration that you're not just sitting back. You're actively steering your life in the direction you choose. You've taken the power back, and now they're the ones who have to catch up. Remember, folks, power isn't about control over others. It's about control over yourself, and you've mastered that art. Number 7, they fear losing you. They fear losing you. Now let's move on to a critical turning point when they start to fear losing you for good. After feeling the power shift, it dawns on them that they're no longer the priority in your life, and this realization sparks a deep sense of fear. They begin to worry that if they don't act quickly, they might lose you to someone else, or worse, that you've moved on entirely. Picture this. They see you thriving, living your life to the fullest, and it hits them. They're no longer at the center of your world. The fear of losing someone as valuable as you becomes very real, and it's this fear that drives them to reconsider their actions and decisions. They might try to win you back with grand gestures, sweet words, or promises of change, hoping to regain their place in your life. But here's where your strength shines through. You remain unmoved. You're not swayed by their sudden panic or the fear they're projecting. You're calm, confident, and focused on your own path. You know your worth, and you're not rushing back into their arms just because they're finally realizing what they stand to lose. Instead, you're letting them understand that if they truly want you in their life, it's going to take more than just words. They'll have to prove it through consistent actions. So, if you're ready to remain strong and let them face the fear of losing you, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I'm unshakable." This is your declaration that you know your value and you won't be moved by fear or desperation. You're solid, centered, and in control of your own destiny. Number 8, they begin the pursuit. They begin the pursuit. After all the realizations, the regret, and the fear of losing you, they finally make their move. The tables have turned, and now they're the ones chasing after you. But here's the key. You're the one who sets the pace. At this point, they've realized that they can't just stroll back into your life and expect everything to be as it was. They know they need to put in the effort, and they're ready to do so. Whether it's reaching out with heartfelt messages, trying to plan dates, or showing up in ways they never did before, they're on a mission to win you back. But here's where your power truly shines. You're in control of how things move forward. Imagine this. They're sending you those long, thoughtful texts, asking to meet up, wanting to talk things through. But unlike before, when you might have jumped at the opportunity, now you're taking your time. You're not playing hard to get. You're simply making sure that their actions align with their words. You're no longer rushing to respond, no longer rearranging your schedule to fit theirs. You're making them work for it, showing that your time and attention are valuable and not to be taken lightly. This doesn't mean you're being cold or dismissive. It means you're setting boundaries and protecting your energy. You've done the work on yourself, and you're not going to let them disrupt your peace. If they want to be part of your life again, they need to prove that they're worthy of it, that they respect your growth and the person you've become. And let's not forget, folks, that the Stoics believed in the power of self-discipline and control. By setting the pace, you're embodying these principles. You're not letting your emotions dictate your actions. You're making decisions based on what's best for you. As Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By setting the pace, you're mastering yourself and the situation. So, if you're ready to set the pace and let them pursue you on your terms, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I set the pace." This is your affirmation that you're in control of how things move forward, and you're not settling for anything less than what you deserve. Remember, folks, it's not about who chases who. It's about maintaining your standards and ensuring that your happiness comes first. By setting the pace, you're showing them that if they want to be in your life, they need to step up, meet your standards, and respect the person you've become. Number 9, they admire and respect you. Finally, folks, we arrive at the most rewarding part of this journey, when they begin to admire and respect you deeply. After going through the realizations, the fear of losing you, and the effort to win you back, they've come to see you in a whole new light. They now understand your worth, not just as a partner, but as a strong, independent person who knows exactly what they want and deserve. Imagine this. After all the ups and downs, they look at you with newfound respect. They see how you've handled everything with grace, how you've grown, and how you've remained true to yourself throughout the entire process. Their admiration isn't just about the romantic connection. It's about who you are as a person. They recognize that you're not just someone to be loved. You're someone to be respected, cherished, and valued. But here's the key. You're standing in your power. You're not letting their admiration or respect change who you are or how you've been living your life. You're not suddenly dropping everything to accommodate them again. Instead, you're maintaining the standards and boundaries that have brought you to this point. You're showing them that while their admiration is appreciated, it doesn't define your worth. You know your value, and you're not willing to compromise it for anyone. This is where you've truly flipped the script. They started out taking you for granted, but now they're the ones who understand how much you bring to the table. They admire your strength, your independence, and your unwavering commitment to yourself. And because of this, they respect you in a way they never did before. So, if you're ready to stand in your power and embrace the respect you've earned, drop a comment below with the phrase, "I am respected." This is your affirmation that you've reached the point where you're no longer chasing love or validation. You are loved and respected for the person you are, and that's the most powerful place to be. Remember, the real power lies not in seeking approval, but in knowing that you are enough just as you are.